What's up, everyone? Drunken Phoenix here, and today I want to give my reaction to people making really piss poor financial decisions. These videos all come from the TikToker named Caleb Hammer Composer, and I just find his show really funny because he just has so many people from all types of stages of life just explaining all of the crazy decisions that they're making, and he basically degrades them, which I find hilarious. But he does try to help them, come to a more rational way of dealing with their finances and to have an action plan to get out of their financial dilemmas, most of which are self-inflicted. But let's go ahead and get started.
I first got into content creation in the first year and a half. I made almost $200,000.
Oh, for fuck's sake, when was this? It's insane. That's so much money.
That was the end of 2020.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. COVID content. Okay.
Yeah, and it's all gone.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a financial advisor at the time, but he wasn't really participating.
What do you mean he wasn't participating?
So before I'd gotten him on my team, so to speak, I was putting aside 30% every time I got a check-in for my taxes and everything, and I had it all just sitting and ready to go.
You've built good bones, okay?
And
not reflected in here, but
yeah, and he told me that it would be better to use that money to pay off my credit cards because the penalties I would have gotten from my taxes were less than the interest I was making.
I could see his mathematical reasoning on certain things, sure.
Right.
But IRS is the people we don't with, typically in my book, but go on.
Well, and then the CPA that he hooked me up with filed my 2021 taxes and then kind of stopped responding to my messages, so I haven't filed since.
How is this happening so much on this show? How are there so many people out there not filing taxes? So 22, 23, and soon to be 24, you have not filed. Not that you would have for 24 yet, but it's about to be. Really? So 2 years so far you haven't filed. How much money have you brought in? How much money did you bring in 2023?
I think 75,000.
Oh, good. How much for 2022?
100?
Oh, good. You're gonna owe
so much.
Chunks.
So much, yes, yeah. Well,
I mean, what, 20 to 50 maybe total, 20 to 50 depending. And then
yes,
and then they will add fees. Will
yes.
they add interest on top of that? What is it? What are they calculating? Have you heard from anyone? Is anyone at the IRS like, oh, hello?
No. And in my defense, I have been trying to get them filed. No. I have contacted 3 CPAs, and they stop responding to my messages.
You're going to sit down with the same financial advisors I use that don't mean money. We'll pay for it. You're good. Everyone out there in the audience gets a free session, but we'll pay for your whole thing either way.
Bless.
So.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing is the first CPA I was working with wanted to charge me $1,200 to file 2022.
I mean, that could makes sense. I paid my CPA a lot too. When the more complicated your money gets and the more they can save you, of course, the more they will charge.
Absolutely. And I was happy.
I don't know if that's incorrect or bad. You just try to say that like it was immediately a horrible thing.
No, because I was like, okay, I can pay this. Just send me the engagement letter. I'm ready to do this. This was halfway through 2023. And I would be like, hey, where is it? And then a month later, hey, where is it? A month later, hey, where is it? And he would just...
That's when 1 month later I go get another CPA, by the way.
Yeah, I was going through a lot at the time, so...
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. I don't think I even have enough time to explain or go over all of that, but I think, a big thing that stood out to me, and this may be because, I'd never made a big, gigantic lump sum of money at one time, nor did I ever do OnlyFans and just got big from it, but I know that it's really common for a lot of people that may win the lottery or just, get a large lump sum. It's really good that she set aside money for taxes because so many times people just think about, oh, I got a lot of money and, they just spend it all on bullshit typically without even thinking about how much in tax they would have to pay. I know that sounds like common sense, but that is something that, a lot of people don't think about until it's too late. Also, I don't know who were her CPAs. Did she get her CPAs off of Craigslist or something? I thought that was really odd how all of them just stopped responding to her. That's a little strange. I would like to know the more context behind that. That's like, did they scam her? Did they take her money first? And so that's a little bit odd. And also, like Caleb says, the IRS are the people that you do not mess around with. I would not advise anyone to skip a year, to go any year without filing their taxes. I think that's very very dumb, to be honest, and just not advisable. They're going to get their money back at some point. The IRS are known for being very patient and being very vigilant towards people that they, suspect are not, paying their fair share in taxes. So, yeah, file your taxes every year. So let's go to the next video.
Here it is! Yep! It is! Here it is! Just like the payday damn loan, now you're debt paying a debt because you kind of paid from a checking account. I don't have what is necessary in my checking account to make this special little purchase, so what do? I have to pay it. Whoopsie! I can't pay it. My afterpay payment, so what do? I use a card and max out a fucking credit card in order to make the afterpay payment. That's where you are. That's where we are. And then all of a sudden we're going to be in a position where I can't pay my minimum monthly payment for a credit card, so I'm going to transfer that debt to a consolidation. So we're going to consolidate a credit card debt for a fucking afterpay debt because we don't know how to budget in our damn checking account. What the how are you? Why would we be paying for this on a credit card on Mission Lane?
It was already in my Google account. And then, so for like Afterpay, are you talking about Afterpay? So I just connect the card into the Afterpay because it was so easy. I love Afterpay.
No shit, you're fucking addicted to it, but you don't pay it. You put it on a maxed out fucking credit card. That is getting worse.
I keep saying we need.
Okay, so my advice on that, anyone that knows me knows that I am not a fan of the whole Afterpay or Klarna situation. I can see why it may be enticing for some people, especially if, they give you like a period to pay it off with no interest. But I think if you're even considering, making a payment on stuff with payments, like multiple payments over the course of a few months, you might want to reconsider, do you have the funds to do that? My recommendation is always, can you pay, if you wanted to, could you pay for it twice at that time? Do you have enough cash to pay for it twice at a time without it really hurting you? Now, I don't know what this lady bought, given that, it definitely wasn't a mortgage or anything, given that it's Afterpay. So, yeah, just be responsible and, yeah.
Create a budget, and he says you can create a budget by yourself. I don't do budget.
Guy, what are you? You have the chance for a generational change that is unheard of, and you're throwing it away.
Sure, but I'm not going to feel bad if I single-handedly don't fix the system.
Buddy, you have the most blessed position in the system.
Sure, but others don't. So a good chunk of my money also goes to helping people who need help. Like, for example, the software agency I started in 2023.
I don't see those. Where are those payments?
Because that was in 2023. But that's where a lot of the...
So I think you don't know what the word help means. I think you're referring to helped.
No, it's still helping. So, for example,
2 years ago,
I give out loans to my family.
Helping is making them pay you back, okay?
They do pay me back, but I'm not gonna, break windows.
No, but I would just gift it and also make sure you're not enabling bad behavior. That's a completely different conversation.
I don't think I have the money to gift.
You don't have the money to loan?
I do.
Oh my.
So I invest in lottery tickets. Not literal lottery tickets, even though I like to purchase literal lottery tickets.
Why are you with your words? What are you saying?
I like to invest in startups, so I have some equity.
How much?
$40,000
over the course of
10 years or so, and
which you probably shouldn't do unless your retirement is substantial. Because now you're essentially waiting for an
what I'm
exit.
getting to.
You're either
part of what I'm getting to is that is my retirement plan.
Okay, well that's the dumbest retirement plan I've ever heard in my life.
It's very,
Probably,
it's
but it's the one we got right now.
No, there's another one, and then you borrowed against it.
Savings and wise investments? No, that's too slow.
I feel that guy is not going to be able to be helped. He comes off as very arrogant. He has all of these weird, things that he do with his money. And there were several videos on his TikTok regarding that guy. But I feel, look, and this may not be the right take. This might not be, the popular opinion, but he seems really confident and happy with what he's doing. Regardless of how irrational it is, I think, as long as you are fulfilled and you are confident in your abilities to do whatever the hell you're doing, no matter how much sense it doesn't make, but if you're happy and you can sleep at night, And he like the guy says he like to invest in lottery tickets. That's like his hobby. So I guess his girlfriend's the reason why they're on the show. But I say, hey, let the guy do what he wants. It's his money. He seems to be happy, and he seems to feel like he seems like he knows what he's doing. So hey, I say let the guy live. It's his money.
Spent $659 going out to eat, so don't fucking bullshit. You choose going out to eat instead of paying rent. You choose going out to eat instead of a minimum monthly payment on the Capital One. So don't fucking bullshit me. You chose $750 on grocery stuff you probably didn't even eat, and $750 on essentials instead of this. And I bet if I looked at those Walmart receipts, there would be a lot of things that were not essentials. Guaranteed.
Well, also, my roommate and I, like, we do the meal prepping. Like, so 2 days I cook, 2 days she cooks. So I don't know if that's...
Well, how does that calculate into the price here?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if me meal prepping for myself and her is going to cost more. I mean, 2 days.
Well,
so if I'm meal prepping...
But if she meal preps for you, she would be offsetting the cost of you meal prepping for her.
Yeah, right?
So
it's even now.
Yes,
Okay,
meaning
cool.
this number is fucking insane. Meaning that did not just justify this number.
It's not just meal prepping that we do. It's also rent and car insurance that we split, and also water and electricity. So I pay the car insurance. She pays the rent.
Why would you pay for your roommate's car insurance?
Well, she's on my car insurance, and then
Why?
I pay for it, and then I subtract it from rent.
Why is she
So
on your
rent's like
car insurance? A
$700
roommate. This is a roommate, not a spouse, unless you guys spousing.
Technically, I guess on our lease because they put us as spouse.
But are you guys actually?
No, we're not. We're not.
You're
We're just
literally
roommates.
just
We're just
roommates.
really
Why
close
the would you have
friends and roommates. We're single moms helping each other out.
Oh, she's a mom too.
Yes.
That house must be interesting.
Hi, my name is Adeline. I'm 18. I'm based in Houston, Texas.
What do you do for a living right now?
I'm a model and an actress and a student.
And a student. Okay,
Student.
so I mean that's the reality.
Yeah,
of it.
student.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Well, maybe I don't know how much you're making off of modeling and acting since January 1st of this year. What have you made?
Oh, probably like give or take 5,000.
Actually, okay.
Yeah.
What?
Well, for modeling, I do like Instagram. So I do brand deals, advertise things. So I've made majority of my money from modeling from that.
Yeah.
Because runway shows, they don't really pay. And then acting, I've made maybe like 1,000 so far. Because both of them require like a huge financial investment on my part before I can make money, you know?
So tell me more about this and the intentions behind the runway stuff then, because young debt spending,
Yeah.
but we're putting money into that. So tell me.
Yeah, okay. So for modeling, I've done a few runway shows. I did Milan Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week.
Milan,
I know.
Ooh.
It was amazing. But Miami Swim Week, and those are all it.
You're affording all this. Rich
A
parents?
firm. Oh no.
You're affirming. Affirming what? Tickets? Like plane tickets?
No, yeah, basically plane tickets mixed with the hotel Airbnb.
You're
Loans.
affirming Airbnb.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it was actually because I can't afford to pay for everything out of pocket.
Question, and spoiler alert, if you can't afford to pay for it, what the does that tell you?
Okay, I was actually really impressed at first. I thought when she said that she made 5,000 from modeling as well as 1,000 from acting, I thought, it's not a lot, but I mean it's a lot for someone getting started in the industry. And I'm like, okay, and she's a student, and she's, I would have initially thought, she was on the right track. I mean, I don't know why I thought that since she's on this show, but yeah, as clearly she's going in debt for that $5,000 or $6,000 that she's earning. I can't imagine what her debt balance is. That's not going to be pretty.
If I can't afford it, probably shouldn't do it.
So
I
it's a want right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a want because you want it to be your career. But now you have to be able to afford to pay rent.
trust me, that was my plan. I planned to take a gap year, planned to work my ass off this year to finance it. But my parents, my mom in particular, as you can see, I have a dog, and my parents, they don't want a dog.
Then
in
why'd
the
you get a dog
house.
if they didn't want a dog in the house? I love dogs. I would like 50 dogs.
Exactly.
But did you get a dog if they don't want a dog in the house if you're putting the dog in their house?
Because I mean, I just love animals.
Yeah, but that doesn't
especially
work. It's
dogs.
their house. It's the house that you live in. If they don't want a dog, why would you get a dog in their house?
Technically, I didn't get the dog in their house. I got the dog when I was living somewhere else.
Well,
and then
you're 18. Where were you living and when?
I rented an apartment, not
When?
an apartment, last year.
At 17?
Yes.
Why?
I had a roommate
Why'd you live with a roommate last year?
because my relationship with my parents wasn't the best and I just needed a break.
How so? How can someone in high school at that time even choose that?
Trust me when I say just because I was in high school does not mean I wasn't dealing with stuff.
No. I'm just saying, like,
This girl has grown up really fast. Like she one thing about her, she does bet on herself. I love the boldness, and I hope she's able to, prosper her financial journey. But she has quite a bit of obstacles to overcome.
balancing that. I mean, like, a lot of people, they start getting their first job and stuff like that, but that's a big bill to.
Yeah, I got my
have
first
in
job
high
at
school.
14. At like 8, I was babysitting my own siblings. My parents would go to work.
So you have to grind. Good.
Yes, I'm the oldest of 5.
was your bill?
Responsibility. My bill.
Yeah. What was your rent?
My deposit was 300.
What was your monthly rent?
I mean, I was only there for a month, so
What? So what, are
1,000.
you subleasing?
is that if that's what it's called? Yeah, I only rented it for a month
Why?
because I needed a break. I said I needed
That
a
sounds
break
like
for my.
an hotel, not a
No. It was
No,
an
I-
actual.
All right, and there you have it. Yeah, this girl's gonna need a lot of guidance when it comes to her finances and figuring things out. But yeah, so these were people making really dumb financial decisions. I think out of all these videos, the one that stood out to me the most was probably, I would say it was the first lady who had issues with the CPA and filing her taxes, only because I feel like that's just the riskiest thing you can do, to have to owe the IRS money, because the IRS, they do not make exceptions for anybody. They want their money. So I thought that one was the craziest one, the fact that she didn't file taxes at all, as well as all her shady CPAs that just kind of ghosted her. But let me know what you all think. Leave a comment section below. Do you guys have some crazy financial decisions that you made? I know I have. What's the dumbest decision I made financially that I can think of right off? I'm not going to say it was a dumb financial decision, but something that I have done financially that I think it was a decision I made out of ignorance that I kind of regret now is I regret having an HOA. It's funny because just the other day I was talking about, I would recommend people buy condos and townhomes. The HOA, basically I got some news yesterday. Someone left a letter on my door regarding the HOA at my complex. And let's just say, I have enough money to pay whatever I have to pay, but let's just say this HOA stuff is kind of getting out of hand. So, yeah. But let me know what you all think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video.